Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. So I partied with Mike. Little tutorial here on how to set up your Mercruiser oil drain hose. Typically when you buy a Mercruiser, I've got the 3.0 TKS, which is a turnkey start. This hose that you see coming out the bilge drain hole is actually, it wasn't there when I bought the boat, right? Mercruiser and Bayliner and whomever it was, right? They chain the hose up inside the engine compartment because this is not the default position for the hose. They keep it tucked to the engine, chained up in the front, so you can do this procedure yourself. This is kind of a tutorial on how I did this procedure myself. So obviously, this end of the hose was clipped to the engine. It was up near the belts. There's a power steering belt and an alternator belt. And near that is a metal bracket that it was just kind of chained and tucked carefully out of the way. It wasn't an issue, but I certainly can't change the oil like that. So it had to come out because I'm one of those guys that likes to do it myself. The factory doesn't care. They don't have a use for this tube because they will use a kind of a commercial grade tool to suck the oil out of your dipstick, actually, which seems a little strange, but that's how they do it. And, you know, draining the oil out of this tube here is a very slow process. It's going to take about a half an hour. But what I did, as you can see here, I've got some wire. This is leftover wire from when I was diagnosing some electrical problems with the boat. So I got essentially a new, four-way wiring harness and just used some of this wire. So I took the wire and I just pushed it through my bilge hole, okay? Just shoved, 20, 30 feet of wire in there because I knew that if I shoved enough wire in there, sooner or later, it would be somewhere where I could just grab it. So I was actually able to grab it from the front of the motor compartment inside the boat. So it was quite easy to grab. Once I grabbed it, as you can see, I tied the wire to this metal tether on the end of the hose. And then, yeah, I just simply pulled the wire out the bilge hole and now I'm set up. So there's actually something that I ordered on Amazon. It's actually a replacement for my bilge drain hole plug, and it's actually the whole tethered unit. So essentially the cap on the end of this hose here is going to be replaced because what I've bought has the plug, the tether, and the replacement cap for this hose here. So essentially, when it's all put back together and the bilge drain hole plug is in, you essentially loosen the plug, give it a tug, and it pulls on the tether. And if you pull far enough out, the hose will come out the hole. Essentially, you just store it back the same way. The only caveat is that you don't really want to drive down the road with it out like this because obviously it's long enough that it'll drag on the ground, it'll get some good road rash, and probably destroy your drain plug or the tether or the hose itself eventually, who knows. So you don't really want to drive with it like this. But it sure is a handy way to change your oil. That being said, I hope this video was helpful. Oh, by the way, when you're draining the oil, it's helpful if not only do you remove this plug here, but you also remove the oil fill cap up on the engine and take out the oil filter because that will help the oil drain much quicker. And you really want to get a good look at that filter anyway. It probably replaced once a year. Anyway, hope this helped. I hope this video was useful. If so, smash that like button. And as always, have a good day. This video is over and I'm out.